Hi, everybody. This is our regular AMA. Nothing can change our plans. So it's Friday, and I'm ready to answer your questions, discuss what is happening in Waves, tell you about our plans. So let's get started. I understand that you have a lot of questions about our USDN 2.0 plan. And it's pretty important to say that USDN won't be named USDN anymore. I'll explain why, and I'll explain the situation. So let's start with this actually. So let me maybe explain what we want to do with USDN. And then I will answer your questions from the chat. So it's always unmoderated. All questions are allowed. No holds barred. Ask me anything. It's okay. So let's get started. We posted USDN revival plan this week. And what happens to USDN? Basically, it becomes like a multi-collateralized asset backed by different Waves ecosystem tokens, which will be donated by myself and by Waves teams to the treasury. And the goal is to actually turn USDN into something else. It's some kind of like an index asset, because some kind of like a portfolio asset backed by different Waves tokens. And basically there is also Surf token, which was launched a little while ago, which becomes some kind of like a bet on the value of Waves ecosystem tokens. So basically you can issue Surf using those tokens. You'll be able to do that like later after the initial bootstrapping stage, because at the beginning we will add funds to the treasury. But in future, you will be able to do that as well. So you can issue Surf by adding those tokens to the treasury. And when the treasury value grows, you are able to redeem your Surf into the stable or the asset. And it's not a stable anymore. It's some kind of like soft pack stable. So probably it should actually. The goal is to make sure that it fluctuates around $1. It might be a little higher, a little lower, but this should be like around $1 mark. Basically, Surf issuers will be able to redeem it into this asset when the backing ratio, that is a collateral of this asset, reaches like the market capitalization of this asset. This means that the ratio of treasury value to the market cap of issued assets is equal to 1. In this case, Surf holders are able to redeem it. Basically, this is how it works. And also, there's going to be incentives for people to issue it, like eventually, after the initial bootstrapping stage. So we can just break it down in 2 parts. This is like the first part, bootstrapping stage. And later, this asset should exist in perpetuity. So it's not some kind of like phase out plan. We phase it out as a stable coin. This is what we are doing. This is right. But this asset should exist in its own right and should be interesting for different Waves ecosystem projects. So they can add their assets to the treasury. They can maybe pitch their projects to the DAO, to NSBT and shareholders DAO, and they can allow their assets to be added to the treasury. And they can issue this asset with their like the treasury tokens of their projects and use it as some kind of like reserve asset. So this is the idea. And the incentives are created in such a way that it makes sense to issue a serve when the backing ratio, collateral level of the treasury is low. It makes sense to participate in governance because NSBT and serve holders can stake their tokens and they receive swap fees. So when new assets are issued or redeemed, they receive some fees. And as I said, it can be like divided in two parts, this plan. We have like short-term goals. We need to repack or at least make it like more valuable, somehow like sustain and support the value of USDN so that we can actually allow various holders to redeem their USDN. And this is very important. And the second part of this plan is to make this asset interesting in its own right, because we don't want to kill it. I think there is like a lot of potential for it as something new. And why we are doing this? We had some plans to create a new setup for Neutrino 2.0, and transition this model into the new one. Under the circumstances that we're facing now, it's pretty hard. Probably we know how to build a better stablecoin, which will be like hard packed, which will maintain the connection to $1 at all times, but it's pretty hard to transition the current model into the new one. And it might be even harder to do that than create a new stablecoin, so because it's heavily under collateralized now, and there is some USDN locked in virus, and we have to release it somehow, so it's complicated. And also we have had a lot of FUD recently, like new FUD. So we've been having this FUD for maybe half a year, as you know, so it's pretty hard, but okay, so it's okay. So we're gonna make it, so it's not gonna break us, So, but at the same time, you always have some new type of FUD. There were some announcements from Korean exchanges, and they don't really understand how USDN work, unfortunately. So they probably do, but they don't want to get too much into detail because they associate our situation with the Luna situation. They think that if there is some kind of an ecosystem stable coin and it is depacked, it is very bad for the ecosystem. But as you know, there is no technical connection between Waves token and USDN. So even if USDN fails, Waves is not gonna go to zero, So, but it's pretty hard to explain it, and probably they're right somehow because people don't really wanna get into too much detail. They just react to some messages, to some news, and they don't want to know how it works technically. And maybe they're right, so we don't want to really argue with them at this stage, So as you know, I'm not a fan of centralized exchanges, but I think for our community, it's a little bit too soon to have any kind of beef with them, So let's just because I could do that, but I think it's a little bit too early. So, and if they're really trying to make something good for their users, so if they just if what they do is not just trying to make some fees from trades, if they care about their users, we should help them. So we don't want to argue, and we decided that it would be better to follow the path that we announced, basically phasing out the current USDN as a stable coin, transforming it into something else. We can't phase it out completely, kill it, because there is a lot of users who have it, and they have to redeem it somehow. So because our goal is to make everybody whole, our goal is to make sure that nobody loses any funds. And this is what we are doing, no matter what. No matter the circumstances, this is what we are doing at all times. And that's why we decided to phase out USDN as a stable coin, turn it into some kind of like Waves index asset together with its sister tokens, NSBT and SURF. And we will launch a new coin once the situation is over, once we have liquidated bad debt on Virus, and only after that we will launch a new hard-packed stablecoin, which should become Waves ecosystem stablecoin. So this is the plan. It will be implemented in January, technically. Today, there's going to be a voting in Neutrino protocol about this plan. So I advise you to vote for the plan because it does make sense. It doesn't kill USDN completely. It turns it into something new, something interesting in its own right, something that can live in perpetuity. So think about it. I think it's a very reasonable proposal that we are making now. Basically, that's it. This is what we are planning to do in the short term. Vesting on Virus will be reactivated, so you can exit your positions there. And as I said, we will need some time to technically implement this, but it won't be too much time. So that's it, guys. I can get into more detail. Just ask me some questions. And now I will check out the chat in YouTube, so ask me. Correct the USDN problem before wave 2. That's the order. This is what we are doing, actually. Exactly. This is the plan. What about current trading pairs? We won't deactivate them. So you will be able to trade in current trading pairs. Despite that, it won't be a hard-packed stablecoin. Also, the pools will remain. So, but it's not going to be like a hard-packed stablecoin. What about DeFo and SDFO? We will have to phase them out as well. But the pools will live, but it probably doesn't make too much sense to keep them in the current setup. But they will be like re-implemented with a new stablecoin. I converted all my USDC and yeah, so people are asking how they will be able to exit their positions on Virus with USDN. So our goal is to actually support the price. Free float of USDN is pretty small because most of it is locked in Virus. So if we add new funds to the treasury, we can actually initiate and somehow like stimulate arbitrage opportunities for traders so that they will be buying USDN and redeeming it through the smart contract. That will push the price higher. And since the volumes of redemptions are small, daily volumes, you will be able to redeem your USDN slowly without crashing the price. So this is the plan actually. So arbitrage will bring the price up. Redemption volumes are not so big, and that will keep the price at a higher level so that you can sell and exit your positions. Oh, so many questions. Sasha, why do you use the words we when I see one guy in an empty apartment hiding in Dubai? I'm not hiding, I am in the GLT area. Come have lunch with me. And it's not an apartment, it's an office. And we all got on a sinking boat. Okay, guys, but we are rescuing you. A good question. How will the new setup prevent price manipulation of illiquid assets? Yes, there's going to be some kind of averaging, obviously. And will there be caps on collateral per asset? The volumes of issuance and redemption are governed through NSBT staking and SERF staking. Yes, so there is some kind of control over this because you have to stake either SERF or NSBT to be able to redeem or withdraw. WX IDO will be open to redeem in USDN also again? Yes, sure. Hello, Sasha, I have a question. Why won't Puzzle and Pluto be added to the treasury? I will have to talk to Vladimir. Maybe he will be interested. I just didn't have time to do so. Maybe later, maybe through governance. Maybe we should just select some like tokens to bootstrap, and new tokens will come through governance. Where did you come up with USDN index fund? Sounds like a lot like NXT index fund, which failed. It's great to see an OG. It was launched in 2015, I guess, and it didn't exactly fail because it was swapped into waves. When we did waves ICO, those assets were swapped into waves, and you can't really say that it failed, because I think people made a lot of money with it. How can various holders help you to save us? Hate everything is asking. Guys, just like, be positive. Be positive, So I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you for anything. Just bear with us. Be positive, be optimistic, and everything's going to be fine. Hi at Stack, I can see our all-time Turkish supporter. Exchange started to delist coins from futures. Yes, there was some other development this week. I reached out to exchanges and asked to delist waves from futures markets. The response was kind of like undecided, I would say. But maybe some exchanges will delist. It takes time. So even if they don't, because the situation is like that, guys. Let's make it clear. Waves is not going to go to zero. Nothing bad is going to happen to waves. Some bad things can happen to people who try to speculate. And we care about all people, also about the shorters. There can be some situations in which they lose money. So we don't want to do that. And also, we don't want too much FUD because those like shorters try to FUD heavily and try to bring waves price down. We don't want that either. It's not going to kill us. Network is healthy, totally sound. Nothing is wrong with it. So waves will live and prosper, no matter the FUD. But I can't see how waves futures are helping us at the moment. So, and I just want to, reduce the volatility around waves because we have had so much volatility in waves, in crypto, and just like in our lives this year. So I don't see any value in futures markets besides speculation. Some people are making money, exchanges are making like profits from fees, but there is no value in this. people say that futures help hedge, it's kind of true, but it's like with a lot of caveats, so in crypto, futures are just like a way to take money from like unexperienced traders, I would say, so I'm not so like far advanced as to ask centralized exchanges to delist waves completely, because I think that you won't like it, probably the community is not ready. Maybe in future, but currently I don't see value in future markets, like at all. That's why I reached out. Let's see what happens. Who will be in control of the new index fund solution? Yeah, and there is this name. It's like Waves Index, Windex. I think it's good. We came up with it today, and I don't think we should discuss it. I think it's a good name. Let's keep it. Who will be in control? So it's like decentralized. Nobody's managing it. So it's like, it's not some kind of like hedge fund. It's a decentralized index. How long will it take to get all our money off Virus? It depends on how much money you have, because we have like legacy markets on Virus, like smaller accounts, and we have larger accounts. So and they're like separated. So we are trying to liquidate the smaller accounts first. And we are also talking to some like larger account holders, how we should proceed with them. So it depends where you are. There is not so much funds in legacy markets, in like retail part of Virus. So I think it's like very feasible that we will be able to liquidate those positions maybe within like 3 months, maybe, hopefully. So it's like maybe a little more. As for the wheels positions, let's see how it goes, guys. So because it's trickier, and we talk to the whales. We are here, Waves Army. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate your support, especially now. So many questions. Where are all the gateway money? We have had some kind of a bank run situation on our gateways. So they're like under constant pressure, but they're like moving forward. And also at the same time, there is like a new generation of gateways on Waves, which won't have this problem because it's impossible to have it. They're like fully decentralized with like proof of reserves and so on and so forth. So, and we will launch them in January. What amount is a whale? I think it's above 250K, if my memory serves me. If assets in USDN basket will have a worth of $20 million, then the target price for an USDN would be 20 cents. It's trickier than that, because as I said, the free float is very small of USDN, and you can't redeem all the assets in one shot. And there's going to be arbitrage. So I think that the price will be closer to 1. It should be. This is the plan. And it will stay there because the redemptions won't be too big. So you will be able to liquidate your USDN if you want, so like in small portions, gradually, but steadily. So this is a plan. Sheikh Vikas told you in previous AMA also will keep supporting you no matter what happens. Thank you very much. What is Windex? This is what USDN is becoming now. It is becoming some kind of like soft pack asset. It means that it doesn't guarantee $1 connection. It is like somehow tries to stay around $1, and at the same time it becomes some kind of like index asset for Waze ecosystem. Since the team changed the IDO terms, will you allow us to unlock our locked WX and put it in the treasury? I didn't think about it. I should think about it. Maybe it makes sense. So many questions today. So if I didn't answer some of your questions, please repeat, because a lot of questions. When is the USDN expected to be packed to the dollar, like soft packed? Let's make sure that it's like a soft pack. I can explain you why, guys. I'll be very blunt, like very honest, and like very politically incorrect. Exchanges, like bigger exchanges, have some issues. They want us to kill USDN. You know, like, okay, I kind of like understand that, but we can't do that. So they're insisting that we don't try to keep the hard pack, and we phase USDN out, but we can't phase it out, you know, because there is virus funds, there is people in virus. So we will like reshape it somehow. So we will make some kind of like reserve index asset out of USDN, which maintains a soft pack that is like not like exact connection to $1, but pretty close, you know. So like it should like stay in the vicinity of $1 mark. Yeah. So the goal here is, and actually it's a very interesting asset, you know, because you have all those problems when you try to keep the hard pack, because there is like maybe some kind of, I will digress, I will go like on a tangent here. So basically there is like two approaches to building a stable coin. Either you have over collateralization, CDAP it's called usually, as in DAI, or you have some kind of incentives, as it was in USDN and I'm sorry, in Luna. You know, so, and the problem with incentives, they don't work at all times. They work like in 99.9% of like situations, but they don't work always. And when there is some like some kind of like a black swan event, they just break down. So this is a problem with incentive-based models. And what is a black swan event for a hard pack stablecoin? When it goes, for example, to 98 cents, and it can provoke some kind of like panic selling, exits, and so on and so forth. So when you don't try to maintain the hard pack, when you just try to create an asset with some kind of a predictable price behavior, it becomes much simpler. And those incentive-based models can work again. I don't believe in incentive-based models, unfortunately. I did believe in them before, but now I understand, this is experience, that they can't work in all market conditions. As a stable coin, which maintains the connection to $1 at all times, but they can work as some kind of a reserve asset, which like fluctuates around a certain price. And that's why I don't want to phase out USDN completely. I just want to turn it into something else, at the same time solving the problems we have with virus. So basically, I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. I'm trying to resolve our current issues, and I'm trying to turn USDN into something that can work in future. And at the same time, when the situation is over, we will launch a new stable coin, which will be based on over collateralization. Very difficult word, I'm sorry. And there's going to be some kind of like adaptive approach to maintain the pack. So it's going to be algorithmic on one hand, but on the other hand, it's going to be governed by DAO. So the DAO will be able to choose the algorithm on the fly, which makes it pretty unique. Okay, so back to your questions. Is it mimic the Pluto? No, it's not like Pluto. There is some similarity, but it's not real Pluto. You know, so Pluto has some kind of like upside, so it should go up in price because there's some mechanism for it to go up. This is not the case here, so it shouldn't go too much above $1. How much is this fixed and solution is costing you, Sasha, personally? Sounds like a lot. All my money, all I have like personal is in the situation, guys. Like I don't have anything else. You keep talking about USDN. What about USDT and USDC holders? It was us who funded the platform and the USDN. You mean Virus? Yes, but we are trying to make you whole through USDN liquidation because there's only USDN as bet debt in Virus. Will there come more index funds on WX? Will there be more index funds on WX? Yeah, I think there's going to be more tokens as index. Sorry if I missed any news about PowerDAO and profit for WX token holders. PowerDAO airdrop is going to be after the holidays, guys, because we could do that. We are ready, but there is too much things to handle, you know, so let's just approach it step by step. PowerDAO airdrop is going to happen in January. Waves is the best project in crypto. Sasha and his team is really working hard. I won't comment on the best project, but we are working hard indeed. So many bot comments. Don't know actually who is bot here. Maybe you? How to get back USDT without swapping to USDN? Yeah, I think you should swap because you can wait till you can wait, or you can swap and exit. So I suggest you do the latter. How many people do you have in team now? So we have approximately the same amount of people. It's more than 200 on payroll, and some teams are independent. How to get back USDT without swapping to USDN? I told you you'd better swap because I can't guarantee you any exact time frames. If you don't, yeah, I think you should. Will there be other stable coins as reserve at USDN? I think it's pretty weird to back one stable coin with another stable coin. You know, it's kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Justin Sun did it. Justin Sun is a very shrewd guy. I admit that. Best regards to him. How do you get a job working for Waves? I don't know. Just message me on Telegram, Nick. I think you have it. Will you allow LP import again? Yes, I think we will. Yes. Will you open import for legacy virus USDT? I think we will open the import. Yes. Yes, I think we will. Yeah. Will the swap rewards be shared to serve NSBT holders based on the token that has been used for the swap? Yeah, it's going to be in tokens, guys. If you don't convince us to do otherwise, because it's much easier, because you have to convert it, it's complicated. Has Upbit FAT issue been resolved? They kind of postponed. I don't understand them, and I'm not going to be politically correct. Like, I'm very polite, but I don't understand what they're trying to do, because if they delist waves, it's not going to hurt waves too much. It's going to hurt their users, so, but we don't want that. And we are talking to them, of course, we're replying to all of their questions, like in detail, many times, over and over again. And I hope everything's going to be fine. In any case, it's going to be fine, guys, so because centralized exchanges are struggling, we are struggling as well, because we are somehow in this situation, because maybe I've made some mistakes, because I've been trying to keep up, because we are somehow outside that like crypto hype, due to many reasons. And I always try to keep up. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have been doing my own thing without thinking about any other distractions. But this is what we will be doing now, because it's time to start doing our thing. Why not merge Pluto with USDN and add Pluto Treasury? Why? Let there be more projects, so let's just, let all the flowers bloom, please. Why just not make a USD stablecoin like Tether on Waves? No, guys, funny story, actually. I launched a stablecoin, fiat-based stablecoin before Tether in 2014, I guess, on NXT. And we operated out of Russia, actually. And it's complicated, so because it's very hard with banking connections, if you stay in Russia. And I stayed in Russia for like almost all my life. So we were not able to bootstrap it properly. It was called, what it was called? Coin or USD, it was called. Yeah. And it worked exactly like Tether, so, and initially we had it on Waves Exchange around 2017. There has been some issues with it, and we have to phase it out. And yes, so this is like the second stable coin that I phase out, So the third one will be successful. And I understand what you can tell me now, but I'm trying, guys, so Coin USD was a very natural project, because that idea was like very obvious, to create a fiat-backed stable coin. But we had to phase it out, mostly due, to like being located in the wrong country. So, but it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, WUSD, right? Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it was WUSD. Waves USD, yes. Sorry. You remember it better than I do. Yeah, the third time's a charm. Absolutely. Yeah. You used to promote virus and you personally vouched for it on Twitter. But that's why I'm trying to resolve the situation, guys, because I personally assumed all the bad debt on virus. And I vouch for it still. Yes, I'm here. I'm resolving this. To lighten the chat, have you had time to think about ways ducks? I will be like, there is like, yeah, interesting question. There is 5 tokens in the index now, in Windex. WX, swap, egg, and West. What else? Wait, I forgot. Let me check my Twitter. Let me check. I forgot the 5th coin. Virus. Yeah, virus. So I kind of like personally vouch for each of those tokens. It doesn't mean that I'm like a CEO of those projects, but I will make sure that everything is going to be fine with them. You know, so I'm not Elon Musk to manage like 10 companies as a CEO, and it's a blockchain. There can be no CEO for a blockchain, but I will make sure that everything is going well. I'll do my best. And one of them is egg, and I will be like really involved in waste ducts from now on because I can see a lot of potential. I'm sorry, my kid is calling me. Let me just reply. My kid is really involved in waste ducts, ideas, brainstorms, and like roadmap, you know. So we're discussing what can be done with waste ducts. He's playing Pokemon as all kids do now, and I'm like kind of impressed by Pokemon universe as well, you know. So it's an incredible business, like incredible business. They're selling paper cards for crazy money, and it's working, you know. So like, wow. So maybe we will be able to do something like that with the ducks. Sorry. So is Inal his kid? No, he's not my kid. I have a smaller kid than Inal. He's 10. With ducks and meta race are very frustrating. Not really sure about the race. The guys were doing that like completely on their own. Maybe I should check. As for the ducks, I told you I'm engaged, I'm involved, and I'll do my best. Waves army defeated. Ah, man, you are so wrong. We kind of lost a battle, you know. We lost a battle we didn't want to participate in. You know, it's kind of weird, you know. So probably we're gonna win the war after that. Tomasz, Sasha, is it possible to meet you in Dubai? I have an NTA manufacturing company. Pin me on Telegram. I think everybody knows my Telegram. So pin me. I'm in Dubai now, yeah. Will AMBA investment proceed normally? We will have to somehow like relaunch it, or at least update, you know, because it was actually connected to USDN as well. So there's going to be some update too. So please stay tuned. War just started. Yes, guys, I think there is some kind of war because I had a very different opinion about crypto when I started. it was very positive. Now I have seen too much, and I can see like so much negative things about crypto. So I think, yeah, it's a war. It's a war everywhere now, also in crypto. And crypto is just a part of like a bigger war now. So many questions. Will you require KYC when you implement fiat on and off ramp? I think we will have to work with some providers for this, obviously, because I don't want to be personally involved in fiat processing. It's a mess. I tried a couple of times in my career, and I don't want to. So we will have to work with like third-party providers, and the terms will be theirs, obviously. So I think some companies allow no KYC deposits for smaller amounts, like $500 or so. Sorry. Will exchanges remove leverage? They're thinking. But I must explain that it's not so important for Waze. It's more important for maybe their users, because we want to protect everybody, also short traders. Waves army is here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. We are small now, but we will grow. Just provide prepaid Visa card for fiat. Good idea. Got a text of his Tinder match. No, I'm not doing Tinder, of course. I'm an old guy. I'm talking to my kid. When do you plan to start marketing on WX? Yeah, let us just, so we'll give it another try, of course. Let us just resolve this USDN situation now, because if you try to send a lot of people to WX now, you will be saying that we are trying to solve our problems with new user funds, and we are Ponzi, so it's like a double-edged sword, Tell us more about Waze 2.0. Good question. I think there is a lot of problems with centralization in crypto now, including L1 protocols. They are becoming more and more centralized. For example, Ethereum is pretty much centralized right now. Bitcoin as well. When somebody is telling you that Bitcoin is decentralized, it's not true. It's better than many other chains, but there is some problems as well. So the goal is to create L1, which is scalable, which can process 1,000 transactions per second or so, like Solana. They have some fake numbers, but it's okay. 1,000 transactions per second, but still remain decentralized. What means decentralization in this sense? It means that anybody can join as a validator. It doesn't require you to have very expensive servers or buy too much tokens, so everybody can join. There's thousands of validators, anybody can profit, and this is what we are trying to do. So Waze 2.0 is a L1, which will have a very high throughput, and it will be very open. It's going to be an open network where anybody can participate without much trouble. Because now, so it's maybe I should write some post about it or article, because now there's two directions for crypto. One of them is just digital money, and one of them is actually decentralization. So we're choosing decentralization. I don't care for digital money, just like, I don't care. This is not what I'm doing. Let somebody else do that. PayPal, we're not doing digital money. And crypto is becoming just a digital money, so, and I'm not interested. Something has to be done about USDT depositors on virus. This is what we are trying to do. Please hear me out once again. There is bad debt on virus collateralized by USDN, and there is no like USDT or USDC there. So if I had USDT, I would just give it to you. So basically, I gave all I got already. So now to make you whole, we need to convert USDN, which is locked in collateral, or allow you to withdraw USDN and sell it on your own. And this is why we are doing what we are doing, like so painfully, and we, so there's no other way, and no matter like what you are thinking about us or telling that like you're scammers, bad people, go to jail, rot in jail, because I get those comments on Twitter like every 10 minutes. It doesn't matter, guys. We will be doing what we are doing, so because for me, it's very important, at least not to hurt people, or not be involved in hurting people. It would be good to make people happy, but at least I don't want to hurt anybody. It's very important for me personally, on personal level, not because I'm afraid of something. It's just like some principles. You have some principles you live by. It's like a religion. So I don't want to hurt anybody. It's very important for me. And no, I'm not looking for any kind of gratitude, appreciation. I don't care. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I will be doing. When new gateways in January, Launchpad, we could have launched several projects in December, but as you know, we didn't because of the situation. As soon as it's okay again, we will launch the Launchpad because it's ready actually. Not so many questions incoming. Let me scroll up a little to fish some questions I didn't reply to. The treasury will be filled by swaps so that GNSBT holders will benefit from fees. Yes, GNSBT holders receive the fees, which should be very substantial, I believe. You say futures market isn't good. What about the tsunami project? Interesting question. I think if you have futures, they have to be decentralized. So you understand what's happening. Because on centralized platforms, they can do with futures whatever they want, as FTX did. Because what FTX did, everybody traded on FTX. Because, for example, there was BitMEX, and people hated it. They hated it because there were like clawbacks. You made some money there because you had like a trade with crazy leverage, and you made crazy money, but they took the money from you, because they just, it was just some kind of, it's gambling basically. There's like two parties who bet on one event, and when one party makes money, the other loses money. The same works with futures. It's the same, absolutely. And BitMEX didn't risk their own funds. They just like redistributed funds between users. And people didn't like them too much, but it worked, and they still exist. But what FTX did, they did something else actually. They just paid you with your money, they paid you with deposits from your users. They didn't take the money you made, even with crazy leverage. They just paid you, but not from profits, from their profit, not from fees, just with money from deposits, So if you have a centralized unregulated futures platform, anything can happen there. You know, if you knew what is happening there, you would be so pissed, you know. So if you have futures, if you really need futures, and maybe they could make sense as some kind of hedge, you know, you need to have them decentralized. You need to see what happens there. And the same applies to gambling or betting, sports betting. I think it can be done on blockchain in a very transparent manner. Strange that we don't have it yet. Because people will be gambling or betting, you know, you can't do anything about it. It's exciting, and for some people, it's like, you know, this is an attraction they can't really you know, resist. So if you need to have those markets, make them decentralized, at least to understand what happened there. So tsunami is fine, and I think that, and I don't think there will be a futures market on WX soon, because it's very simple to build it, because the technology on WX is just made for it, you know. So we have to tweak it a little, and we will have derivatives markets. We just should do that. You know, we plan to do this in this year, but okay, we didn't. But it shouldn't take us too long. So when we get down to it, it's going to be launched in like 3 months. And you will be able to actually see what happens with your positions, how the money are distributed between the winning and losing positions, how the funding rate is calculated, and so on and so forth. You know, so if you should have futures, and probably you can't ban futures, you know, because people will be creating those platforms. It's just a form of betting, you know, so you can't ban betting, you know, so it's impossible. So you should just make it more transparent, more fair, and make sure that people are not being abused. Will there be waves in your index? Yes, there's going to be waves as well. Yeah. When will the WX network community be recognized as the official WX community channel? But it is actually. We should bring more people there, I guess. Joseph, what do you mean? Yeah, please explain. Will GWX holders finally get real rewards from the derivatives market on WX? Yes, sure, because the fees will go to WX buyback as well, and the fees should be quite significant for futures markets. You are the only altcoin CEO standing up to centralized exchanges. Why don't you get such support from other altcoin teams? And are there any sanctions for this opposition? I'm not really standing up against them, you know, so I think we just should somehow like separate ourselves from this world, you know. So and crypto is mostly about like making money at the moment, you know, so people probably are too afraid to stand up against anybody because they're focusing on their profits. But I think it's important to keep doing what we started with. I mean, when I started Waves in 2016, it was a little different. It wasn't really about making money. You know, money was important, but it was like the vibe was very different, you know. So I would like to get that vibe back. Because as I said, now crypto is just another form of digital money, but it wasn't like that. And I want those times back, you know. If someone drained all USDT on virus, so be it. They're supposed to be backed by actual USDT. Yeah, they withdrew it from the chain, right? USDN ERC20 withdrawals will be available on Waves Exchange. Yes, we don't close them. People from virus VIP 28 receive within 3 months all their USDT, C or DPEC USDN. Guys, we make sure that you receive USDN and are able to sell it close to $1. Let's make it clear now. So by a Rode microphone, hard to understand you. Maybe my enunciation is not good enough. I'll try to speak more clearly. But you're claiming that there is a liquidity crunch, which is why you suspended the gateways. They're not really suspended, you know. So we process payments. There is a couple issues where like resolving now. Give us some time. Are you considering increasing the integration and talkability of Waves with Ethereum and pulling Ethereum volume to Waves? I think at some point in future, if everything goes well, and it will go well, we will have to have EVM in Waves ecosystem, because EVM is some kind of a standard now, and it's not a bad thing, you know. So it's a very good engineering solution, you know. So we will have it because I think it became some kind of standard, and we have to face the facts. So yeah, but I explained you our plans. I think last time, I think it's going to be implemented as L2 solution. That is a solution on top of Waves, like chain on top of L1 main chain. When XMR releasing, let us launch the new gateways. I'm not a fan of anonymity coins, actually. You know, so I don't have anything against them. On the other hand, I don't really know what the use case is currently, you know, because when somebody hacks you, they ask you for XMR, X for Monero, you know. So like, is it good? I'm not so sure. Aztec, can you explain? I just kind of saw the comment but lost it, about like every platform should have a stable coin, so it's not like set in stone. I think Waves needs a stable coin, you know, because it really helps with increasing the TVL. And if you are thinking about like Waves price, which is very low now, obviously. The more Waves tokens is locked in different contracts, in stable coins, the lower the free float is, and probably it affects the price positively. So stable coin is needed, and there's going to be a lot of stable coin wars in future, you know, because it's very important to create a stable crypto asset. And I think we are not done yet. Third time is a charm, as somebody wrote in comments here. Yeah, I will buy a mic. I have a mic, I just didn't bring it. I have a very nice mic, maybe you remember it. Microphone, it's a pink one. I have it in another room. You don't know a use case for privacy. It's a very interesting question, maybe some other time, because it's not about privacy, it's more about control, so, but probably not everybody will be interested in this. When rock? Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Maybe like after the sun explodes, I guess. There's gonna be a huge rock when God is gonna rock us all. And will the new USDN be the same or different token? USDN 2.0, the same token with a different name due to some politics with exchanges. I explained it. It's a very weird politics, but okay. And the news table will be new. It's not going to be launched anytime soon, at least not within a couple months, maybe 3 months, maybe more, like next spring. And it will be totally disconnected from USDN. It's going to be something else. We have a plan. We have to finalize some details. It's going to be over collateralized, and it will be adjustable to current market conditions. Two things, but it will be launched after. So there is no, please make sure that we are on the same page. We are not launching a new coin now. We are working on it, and it will be launched when the time is right. Will the new hard pack stablecoin be named USDN? No, you can suggest your own name. I don't have one yet. It should be something very interesting and shouldn't have USD in the name, I guess. USD and ERC20, I think they are enabled. Let's make new index multi-chain. Interesting idea. Imports will be resumed. What happens to the old one? It is being transformed into the new one. It's complicated. Yeah, I understand. So USDN becomes Windex. It's like a soft-packed asset backed by a basket of Waves tokens, different Waves tokens, Waves project tokens, not Waves itself. But there is some Waves tokens, like native Waves token there. So there's not going to be any hard pack. There's going to be only soft pack. And there's going to be some mechanism to maintain the price. This is what we are doing now. In spring, hopefully, we will launch a new hard-packed stablecoin because it is needed. You need to have it in your ecosystem because people trade against those coins. But it will be launched once we have resolved the liquidity crunch situation in Virus and in Waves ecosystem in general. So let's, guys, make sure that you understand and don't feed into the FOD. We are not launching any new coins currently. We are not selling you anything. We are not asking for your funds. We're not doing that. We work with what we have. The new stable coin should be called Phoenix. Yes. Hi, Vova. If USDN will be 1-to-1, will the surf token price rising? Yes, yes. Until it's like fully backed, surf rises. Yeah. Phoenix. I had some bad association with that name, but I forgot what exactly. Okay. But Phoenix is interesting. Yeah. WUSD, I think you shouldn't have USD in the name, you know, just in case. Just in case. Yeah, maybe. WD sounds better. Yeah. Yeah, right. It's good. Oh, it's cool. Serious. Good name. Thank you. Yeah, WD is good. Oh, guys, so we came up with a great name. Thank you. Will we have a party when all problems are gone? Sure. Maybe like, I don't know. I'm not partying, but you know, I will. Avoiding the most important questions. You mean the gateway situation is being resolved? You know, please bear with us. USDN ERC20, I will ask. I didn't know. I thought they were on actually. Let me ask the guys. What about the BLX pools? More liquidity? Yes. This is a plan. Hi, Taik, our Korean ambassador. Nice to see you here. Korean community is very important for us. You know, no matter the FOD and like they have so many waves, tokens. So, and Korea is a great country. Like indeed, no, I'm not trying to somehow like, you know, suck up to the Korean community. No, I love Korea. You know, I was there like 3 times, maybe 2 or 3 days each time, but I loved it. It's very nice. So yeah, and what Taik said, I hope the perception of stable coins will improve as soon as possible. Yeah, we need to launch like a good one, you know, stable one, and things will change. It doesn't mean that USDN was bad, you know, because it's a learning curve, basically. You know, if we hadn't had this like crazy FOD attack situation with this very bad bear market, USDN would have been fine, you know, but it wasn't prepared for all possible market conditions. That I have to admit. Sasha dollar. Next time I come to Korea, I want to have a cup of coffee. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There is so many coffee shops in Korea. It's incredible, you know. So it's like Koreans must drink so much coffee. It's like you have a coffee shop every like 10 meters. And raise vodka cherry. I'm not really drinking now, but I do drink a lot of coffee. That's true. I can't give up on coffee. Thoughts on the possibility of USDT crashing? Would it kill crypto? No, I don't think so. It should actually impact Bitcoin, unfortunately, because probably they have a lot of Bitcoin in their treasury, as far as I understand. But it won't kill Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is not dead, crypto is not dead. You have to admit that. Whether you like Bitcoin or not, I kind of like not so excited about it, you know, to be honest. But Bitcoin is crypto. As long as Bitcoin is there, crypto is there. Can we have a celebration when the whole process is over? Absolutely. come to Dubai, or I think you're in Turkey, right? So maybe in Istanbul. When will resume import? I have to check with the guys, but I think it will be resumed as soon as we have launched Windex and re-enabled vesting on Virus. Come to Amsterdam for best coffee shop. Amsterdam is a great city. Yes, love it. Did you hit the gym today? Not yet, but I will, I think. For half an hour, I try to go like half an hour every day. And it's enough, actually, it's enough. When roadmap 2023 and be released, I will have another AMA next week. Sasha, you good with Elon? I don't know him. He obviously doesn't know me. I'm nobody. I think he's a great guy, but I have some issues with him, you know. But yeah, I won't go. I won't go because it would sound weird, you know. I'm not the one to comment on Elon. He's done so much stuff for like, not for humanity, you know, but for industry, you know. So okay. How about we use Bitcoins from ICO? Our ICO was like 6 years ago at that, you know, so a lot of time has passed. A lot of things happen to waves. Please tell me what kind of attention be paid to the WCT community. WCT will participate in Power Token airdrop. Crypto psycholog, come to Istanbul. Yeah, I was there like a couple months ago, but just for 2 days. You guys are crazy about crypto, and it shows. You have so much crypto stuff everywhere. Crypto ants. Airport is like branded with crypto exchange banners. It's not just banners. The airport, Istanbul airport, is like branded with crypto exchange stuff, you know, so it's kind of Elon promotes Doge. I don't understand that. Don't ask me. It's just like, I don't understand that. Can you also tell some more regarding Waste Association? Yes, Waste Association is very important, and it will become a sub-DAO, child DAO of Power DAO. Unfortunately, it didn't happen this year, but it will happen next year. What will happen to our USDN, sir? I've been trying to explain it to you last hour, like the whole hour. We are making sure that it doesn't lose its value and you can sell it if you want. We love crypto. Yeah, Turks do love crypto. And Koreans as well, actually. So many people have crypto in Korea. It's incredible. And in Turkey, the same situation. Do you think it's important that the public or big investors get some investments in waves? Maybe it's not a very good moment to talk to VCs now. And I'm not, as you probably know, I'm not a fan of VCs, but you have to probably differentiate between different VCs, you know, so there is some good guys as well, of course. So definitely we could use some help from VCs, and we will try to reach out. We will do some outreach now. It's very nice to have the opportunity to ask the founder of Waves a question. It's worth a lot. Thank you. Thank you for being with us, actually. I appreciate it. the withdrawal limits for USDN won't be too large at the beginning to make sure that people are able to sell at a higher price without crashing the token price. Yes. Will Windex have its own page on WX? Let's think about it. Koreans are negative towards stablecoins due to the Luna crisis, but this will only be a matter of time. Absolutely. People have a short memory. You know, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's true. Will we have BTC as collateral for USDN? I think if the community votes for it, I wouldn't actually. It's kind of weird because I don't see the benefits, you know. And don't you think new index coins are oversold already? Not really, not really, not really. No, 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 no. I will be making sure that the tokenomics works for them, and I will focus on those tokens, and I will work with the teams because we are working for you, and I wish we could focus on the tech, but when you have the situation when there is some like funds stuck in a project, you have to deal with this. And at the same time, probably could help some projects within Waves ecosystem to make sure their tokenomics works and improve their interfaces. So let's try to find some positive things here as well, not only be dealing with the negativity and like, you know, so there is a flip side to this. If we resolve this, I think we will be able to resolve anything in future. You claim you don't care about money, and yet you have spent our gateway funds. Come on, man. If I have a bit money, if I have a bit money in savings, what would you offer to invest in crypto market? I wouldn't recommend any investment at the moment. You know, I'm not talking about waves. I'm talking in general. I think the bottom hasn't been reached yet. You know, so I think there's going to be a recession next year, like official recession. It's like 99% chance. And, you know, the recession is bad for all financial markets, and crypto just became a part of those markets. Everybody forgot about decentralization, about like replacing traditional financial markets with something new. So crypto is just a part of financial markets now, like old school financial markets. So it will be impacted by the recession as well. So I think it's a little bit too early to buy anything at the moment. Please repeat, never sell your waves. Absolutely, you know, never. Let's go to work. Joseph Miller, thank you. I think I will wrap it up now with those words. Let's go to work, guys. I understand that there's a lot of FUD. We are facing some pretty bad issues. Sometimes bridges don't work. You know, sometimes something else bad happens. Some like announcements from some exchanges. You know, but like it's a difficult time for the world now. You know, so and actually it is reflected in Waves situation as well. But we are moving forward. We will persevere. Everything is going to be amazing, and we will make Waves great finally. Not again, but finally, you know, because we were not great. We will have to become great. Ride on Waves. See you next week for the final AMA this year. Happy holidays. Always a pleasure. See you soon.